Good evening and welcome along to yet another Thursday night here in the Broadcasting Lounge. And tonight, GTEs are back for another round, round 9, and we head to Monterey, California, Laguna Raceway, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, sorry. Joining me in the Broadcasting Lounge tonight is Douglas Buckley. How's it going, Dougie?
Good there, Shano. Thanks very much for having me along tonight. I feel like I'm occupying a seat destined for someone greater than I, but he's currently having tonight off getting some fresh air, and we're certainly not apart from helping our mates out when they need to be helped out. So no Corey tonight, folks. You've got me instead. So if you want to send Corey all your love, you can send it to me, and I'll pass it on.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yes, here we go. Round 9 of our GTEs tonight. As we said, we've come to the infamous Laguna Seca. Thankfully for Steve Darren, the one and only Magna McNamara is not out there racing tonight, but we'll be doing some race control duties alongside Dan DeGraff. Out there, they're looking at 20 degrees, low humidity. It's a little bit overcast, and we're coming in towards the evening time there, Shane. So the temperature's actually going to cool off a little bit, and possibly just get a little bit darker. I wouldn't say we're going to go full dark, but it'll certainly get a little bit darker.
Yeah, I think there were a few races in the series that are set up, so they should be just ending right on sunset, and I think this might be one of those. So that should give us a good spectacle in that feature race as we settle into the end of that and get into that sunset period. Just about 10 minutes into our 15-minute qualifying session, and we've got Stefan McCartan sitting on pole at the moment, back in the pits right now, so he might be satisfied with that 117.844 that he's got on the board. Half a second clear of this man, Nico Cordia, who has just gone a little bit slower on that previous lap with an 18.42 compared to his best of an 18.38.
Yeah, certainly just a little bit off, but he's probably got another couple of laps left in him. They've got a total of 15 minutes or 15 laps to scoot their way around. Just been behind him, who has just gone back to the pits. He's probably happy with how he was going. Blake Grenhall sitting there on a 18.57. And very closely behind them, two Corvettes following up the pack. We've got Aaron Goodrick and Matt Priest, an 18.71 and an 18.75 respective for those two. Only 0.04 of a separating 4th and 5th. So there should be some pretty close battles there off will be the third row, or the second and third row between those two.
Yes, so we're seeing a little bit of a picture that we've grown used to in the GTE series so far this year. Stefan McCartan with a reasonable gap out front, half a second there, and then good tight times in between him, showing that the battle for the rest of the podium and even the rest of the top 10 is going to be very tight. And of course what we're going to see in that second race is that top 10 get flipped around, and assuming Stefan is able to control race 1 and take the win there, he's going to have to come through from 10th in the second one.
And we've got a slightly smaller grid here tonight as well, Shane. Looking at about 15 cars out there going to do some racies tonight. And by all means, the time margins between each of the drivers are very, very, very tight. Only, as we said, the 0.04s and 0.07s, 0.05s and 0.09s separating the guys. So from what is fastest time on track with Stefan McCartan, a 17.84 to 15th spot is only 1.62 second total. So that gives you a bit of an understanding of those 15 positions in between. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to hopefully some nice, fun, clean racing from all the boys, and also equally for the feature race as well. As Shane said, flipping the top 10 around certainly keeps things exciting, and those point margins tighter for the championship.
Yeah, sure, there's one tonight with those Those 15 cars in, slightly smaller field as you mentioned. Part of that is due to people preparing for the big Bathurst 12 hour that's on this weekend. I did hear that that's why none of the Team West guys are in tonight. They're all busy practicing for that one, and I think there's
Yeah.
probably a few other guys that are in a similar boat there because it is obviously a very popular event in this part of the world.
It certainly is. Bathurst iconic amongst New Zealand and Australian drivers alike, and when we've been advocates of the GT3 car for a long while, only recently, or this season, in fact, just changing to the GTEs. A lot of those boys very familiar with the GT3 cars, and when you've got the time to put it into practice, you're normally tuning up for some big racing. But when you've got big iRacing championship on the weekend, we certainly don't hold any grudges on them not coming along and doing that. And we wish them all the best for the weekend. If you've got any of the regulars that you follow and are missing tonight, jump on our Supercars NZ community page, or even our Discord. We'll have links to that through there too. A lot of the boys will be sharing their live streams over the weekend of their teams doing their bits and pieces, so you'll be able to come along and support them, and yeah, wish them all the best.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be a few guys out there sharing those streams around, so get out there and check it out. And of course, plenty of action to go around, not just with that, but real world racing as well, with supercars getting underway tomorrow night. So make sure you find your time in between those races to check out some of the streams of the 12 hour as well.
100%. Yep, very much so.
And of course, multiple time slots for the 12 hour as well. So I think some events have been extended recently to 5 time slots. I think the Bathurst 12 hour
Yep.
might still be sitting at 4 time slots at this stage. So there'll be one on Saturday morning, one on Saturday evening, I think. Certainly one starting at midnight Saturday or Sunday, and then one starting at 5 a.m. Sunday morning as well. So plenty to choose from, and I think there's a fair mix of guys doing each of those splits as well, involved in the Supercars NZ community. So as we say, get onto that page, Supercars NZ community Facebook page, and find the streams there or on Discord. Quick look at the grid for the first race tonight. We've got Stefan McCartan lining up on pole alongside Nico Cordia, Aaron Goodrick and Blake Greenhill behind them on the second row. Rolling back to Matt Priest and Bart Slebbert on the third row, and then Steve Darren and Jaco Venter there on the fourth row.
Yep, indeed. And just in behind them, we've got Leith Swinney and Louis Robinson 9th and 10th. Matt Gerard, Chris Zalewski there 11th and 12th. Dylan Radford, James McKenzie 13, 14, and on 15 place we have Thinis Venter. So that's our 15 for tonight as the timer ticks down, and we'll see the safety truck roll away shortly. It's a short run round the corner. You can see the cars there on the track, parked up near the cars in the car park. There we go. Getting ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, so we should have
Quick,
about 25 seconds until we're ready to go. Just sitting on the dummy grid there.
quick shout out to our race week sponsor. We've got Valk Auto Electrical as our race week sponsor. It's a company from Tim Valk, who we usually see across in the V8s. It's a family-run business. It started back in 2021 after a long and interesting career in the industry already. Real passion for classic cars, hot rods, race cars of all kinds. Been specialising in auto electrical engineering has led him to work in some pretty awesome cars, and starting a business was a way for him to continue doing what he enjoys. So yeah, you can find Valk Auto Electrical in Helensville, that's West Auckland, and you can catch them on via the Googles or via the Facebook. He's ready for you to give him a call, talk to you about any of your up-and-coming projects. Here we go. Cars coming around, waiting for the green light to go, which is on, and they are underway. Nice and tidy. Stefan, nice jump, moving that gap out already. Nico under some early attack there from Aaron Goodrick, but has been able to hold him off coming in through the first section of S's. Everyone nice and cleanly through the first few corners. Good to see. We've got Blake Greenhall has made a move on Aaron Goodrick there. And we've had a couple of guys go around. I believe Aaron being one of them. We've also got Dylan Radford. I believe Steve Darren going off track too, so we'll be able to unpack that one. It looks like there might be a couple of guys parked up, and we might hear an early safety car deployment. And, Yarko has towed to the pits. Obviously, very damaged car on his. Wait and see if we hear anything from race control.
Looks like Dylan Radford has towed to the pits as well. And Sean McNamara on my timing is showing as on track, so that could mean we have a safety car deployed. Or may just be sitting in the pit lane at the moment.
So parked up at pit lane exit is Dion de Graaf waiting to pick up the race leader. So I would say we are under yellow conditions. Yep, safety truck has officially picked up spot number 1. So wait and see if we hear anything further through the comms. I'm just making sure all the miners turned on so I can hear anything else.
Yeah, that's always helpful to be able to know what's going on with the safety car, but we do have safety truck on track early on in this one, and Stephen McCartan, race leader, sits in behind the pace truck now and aggressively trying to get some heat into those tyres.
So it was an unfortunate event that took place, and biggest loser I think out of that was actually Steve Darren, who was collected by another car. But you'll find replay data there. Aaron Goodrick, just while he was trying to defend his third position there from Blake Greenhall, as we see the two side by side, Aaron loses the rear of his car here, turns it right round and avoiding cars going through. Steve gets collected there, I believe, by Yarko, who has then gone off to the left-hand side of the track. Also picked up some other wheel damage out there. Able to stop and straight into the tyres down the deep end.
Yeah, so as we picked up the shot from turn 4 on the live shots, I actually thought it looked like the two cars had contact together, but both Aaron and Steve just having their own unfortunate little spins there coming off of turn 3, and yeah, as you say, Steve unfortunately getting collected and taking big damage when he ended up in the opening of the tyre barrier. Looks like he did actually limp it back to the pits and take repairs, unlike Dylan Radford and Jaco Venter, who towed back to the pits and as a result have ended up coming out in behind Steve. So good hustle by Steve to get that back to the pits in that state and take the fast repair, and it's helped him grab a couple of extra spots as a result.
Indeed. We had a wee bit of chatter going on there between one of the drivers and someone's to race control about their teammate, just possibly showing as a lap down, but from that information it looks like that's been sorted out, showing a lap down until they went across the start finish line, but they're still on the same lap as the rest of the drivers. So hopefully now that everyone is all nice and tightly bunched up behind the safety car, we will shortly see Dion move away from the pack, handed control back over to Stefan. So race control just announcing that now to the boys. Stefan McCartney being asked to take over responsibility as lead vehicle in hold point 90 and 100, and not to move away from the pack until the safety car has been declared as in pit lane. We had an interesting one on Tuesday night after a restart. A few cars getting doing the overlap thing from the last corner before the lead car decided to go, and the lead driver wasn't actually quite too sure what was happening. He thought he was being overtaken, and a couple of drivers getting caught unstuck as other cars tried to close the gap and then had to jam on the brakes very quickly because they were not near the start finish line and were about to breach the restart procedure, and lulled a few others into actually doing that. So we've got Stefan McCarthy, he is away now, I believe.
Oh, there's contact in the background. Aaron Goodrick caught up there, and Matthew Gerard in behind as well was involved in some drama. So I think that was just again a result of Stefan holding the pack up and going quite late, which is absolutely his right to do. But just a little bit of confusion in the mid and rear pack there, causing those guys to come unstuck, unfortunately.
That is, yeah, Matt Gerard and Aaron Goodrick tied up in with that, and Tanner there also jumped into that. So 3 cars on the restart affected by going too early, unfortunately for them.
And there'll be a lot to unpack there, and I'm sure race control will be looking at it. But there will be a lot to unpack as to who was accelerating and braking, who was doing what they should or shouldn't have been, and yeah, it'll be a lot to figure out who did wrong there. It could end up being somebody quite a bit further up the pack than Aaron and Matthew that actually caused that. So race control will have a lot to look at there, and it may end up being too much for them to deal with in race, and it may end up being a post-race investigation.
I was just going to say, so Tinnis is gone, he's departed the scene, but Aaron and Matthew remain, and but Aaron Goodrick, it hasn't been the best of seasons for him. Qualifying obviously there at 3rd position, and he's down bottom of the pack, currently in 15th, waiting to get his toe out of the way and back out to circulate to get some points in this first race. We've got Bart Slavitt here, Gavin Flair. He's doing some good things. He's moved up 1 position, and he has Matt Priest in his peripheral, straight out through the front lens of his helmet. Let's see what he can do now that we're under green racing and people will be able to get some tyre temp built back up.
That's actually on a bit of a charge at the moment as well. He's been able to stretch that gap out to Bart, and he's closed right in on Blake Greenhall on this lap, so he is keen to move forward. Blake holding that final podium position at the moment, and Matt wants it.
He is, yeah. Blake doing a nice solid run here at the moment in the Porsche. Changed up from seeing him running in the usual the GT3 BMW. He obviously feels he's comfortable here in the Porsche. We've done the Porsche thing in the past, Shane, the GTE Porsche, and it's actually not a bad car as far as Porsches go.
Yeah, I'm actually quite a fan of the GTE model. The GT3 not so much, but I do quite like the GTE. I did a Le Mans 24-hour in it.
And we did the Nürburgring in it as well, I believe.
Not the GTE.
One with the GT3 then.
Potentially. I don't recall doing that in a Porsche, but potentially.
We certainly did. We did one together.
No,
the GTE.
it was the GT3. It wasn't Nürburgring. It was Spa.
Ah, that's right.
Yes.
Following on from the one you were saying before, where you had done the GTE, and I was preparing to be a backup driver, so I'd done some laps
Yes.
in that car as well. GTE, very well balanced, mid-engine as opposed to rear, and I think that certainly helps things out quite nicely. You don't get the massive over rotation or the dramatic slip, slap, slop, all the old safety sun things happening with it when you break loose on the rear traction.
Yep,
Not
absolutely agree with that.
bad car at all.
And actually, on that note, both these cars in this battle are mid-engine cars, which for both forwards, Matt runs quite wide through the gravel. So the mid-engine not helping him there, but as much as the mid-engine rather than rear engine is a departure from the norm for the Porsche GTE model, this Corvette being a mid-engine is a departure from the norm, and that before this C8 model, they were all front engine.
Correct.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the only thing is probably what we've seen there, which we obviously did find as well. The balance of the car being centralised in the centre. When you were going through some of those corners, if you didn't have enough tyre or aero grip, well, probably more tyre grip than anything, is the car would just gravitate to one side and it would just pull you off the track. Not front or rear loose, it would just keep drifting wider and wider. So it was the only thing you had to be mindful of, was keeping up with your slow ins and fast outs. But Dylan Radford there having a wee whoopsie, had a off-track moment. I think he'd had a wee turnaround and then he's had to get himself back underway.
I think he's just moved himself off track to stay well out of the way because he was a lap down there.
Yeah, he has. So he's he moved off the track. So as you said, right, so moved off track to allow the pack to go by, keep out of everyone's way, and circulate and finish up those laps. But how awesome of a race. Stefan McCartane out there at the moment, a couple of seconds clear of Concordia. Stefan representing the blackout OPR racing colours there. Team that did very well recently at the OSR Bathurst 12 hour. And another team that will be one to keep an eye out for this weekend with the iRacing official coming up.
And time ticking down in this one. I think we're going to get this lap and one more. So before we run out of time, we'll have a quick look at what happened to Aaron Goodrick at the restart there. So actually somebody else, so Aaron Goodrick was the second car that went around. So I think Matthew Gerard. Yeah. Two very similar looking cars. So I called it as Aaron being the first one, but it was actually Matt was the first one, and he's just been drilled in the rear there.
I believe that was Thinus that had that caused that wee moment. I don't believe, certainly, and I'm not saying that in any way that it was meant as an intentional at all. Could have been just a moment. He was pacing in front and wanted to see how close the car was behind, and he's just been rolling a little bit faster and bumped into the back of him.
Yeah, of course, as I mentioned, a lot to unpack. With those late restarts where the leader goes very close to the line, you do quite often have people closing gaps, and when you're further back in the pack, that can appear as though you're going, and then suddenly people check up and check up and check up and check up until somebody hits somebody, and it can be very tricky to unpack who's actually at fault for incidents like that.
Yeah, very much so, and I've been caught out with it by myself. I'm sure you have too, Shane. And 9 times out of 10, it can be an overreaction from one driver thinking, whoa, I'm about to hit the guy in front and jamming on the brakes, and patches out obviously the next person and usually then the second or third person behind them that suffer worse consequences. And I think that's what we've seen here from those two lads, with snowball effect as it goes down the chain.
Yeah, that's right. As Stefan McCartan brings it through the final corner now on the final lap. Nico Cordy has been able to stay just 2.5 seconds back from Stefan, so good performance from Nico, but Stefan taking out race 1, Nico coming home P2. And Blake's going to be able to hold on to that podium. Well done, Blake Greenhill. Matt Priest coming home in 4th there. Bart Slabbert 5th. Leith Swinney brings it home in 6th. Lou Robinson in 7th. Steve Dower in 8th. Jaco Venter 9th. Chris Zaluski is going to grab that reverse grid pole for the second race, coming home in 10th. And then Dylan Radford, Matthew Gerard and Aaron Goodrick all coming home, unfortunately a lap down due to early incidents that they were involved in, 11th, 12th and 13th.
Good to see those guys getting back out to finish the race and solidifying some points. You'd be silly not to on a night like this when there's only 14 or 15 drivers out there, because that's still some big point collections, and when you're that close to the top 10 and you're going to be probably following the lead car through the pack, following them through some cars, you never know where you might end up. And as we saw, unfortunes onto some of the faster guys in that first race. Anything can happen, any driver. But here we are, the main event for the night. This is when our viewers skyrocket Shane. You see us jump through about 150 people coming online right now, because they know that the GTEs have finally left the pack, and it's all about the stadium truck racing.
Yeah, this is what we've been looking forward to. Here it is.
So no Corey tonight to defend the honour, and you're usually out there keeping it clean and beating everyone. And silly enough, I joined as a watchee rather than a drivee. I can't get out there and do anything either. So we get to see Mr. Plough. It's Sean McNamara, the number 3 car there, ploughing straight into a wall as Dion Graf, number 20, laughs his way hysterically out of the corkscrew and down through the few final corners off the track, and still got very, very good car control, as we saw from him earlier, as he had moved away from the pack.
Sorry, he's got very good what?
Car control.
Okay, it just didn't look like it just there, but yep.
Oh, I think he done that. I think he did that on purpose.
To be fair, Sean had towed back to the pits and has just come out again, so...
Yeah. Like, hurry up. Oh. Oh, he's making me take back everything I just said, isn't he?
He is.
Nice close-up shot of it as it finally creeps its way up the hill. Let's see if these boys can get another lap done and dusted before they get booted.
Getting plenty of drift angle through turn 1 there, Dion. If Sean was waiting for him, he's given up on that. He's there now.
Sean, we're going 3, 2, 1. What Sean will be hopefully trying to do this time is not attack the other guy, because he realised that Dion's actually got some pretty good skills when it comes to not losing control of his truck, as Sean was trying to battle him out of the way.
Yeah, see if he can keep it between the barriers through the corkscrew this time, but Dion doing his best to stop that happening.
All I can hear is Dion's laughter.
He's waiting up for him though.
Down through the corkscrew. Up onto 2 for a moment.
Dragging,
Flicks.
dragging plenty of gravel onto the track. Our stewards will be hard at work between the warm-up and the race to get that cleaned off.
And Sean, a man of honour, waiting patiently for Dion. Yeah, right. Last corner. Tips it in and isn't driving for the line. Hand out the window. Golden salute. Well done, Macca. 1 lap each for the boys, so we'll have to call that a tie.
Yeah, but Dion, I'm pretty much hear Dion in race control now saying, "No, but I didn't tow. You towed."
I suppose as driving distance goes, yeah, probably Dion went further. So
There they go, and they're out of here. So we see the 10 get flipped round. That puts Chris Zalewski to the top there with Jaco Venter in P2, Steve Darren in 3rd with Louis Robertson behind him. Lee Swinney sitting there in 5th spot with Bart Slavitt beside him. Matt Priest and Blake Grenhall will commence their battle again as Nico Cordia and Stefan round out 9 and 10.
Dylan Radford certainly not slow, and keep an eye on him as Stefan makes his way through the pack. In 11th spot, Dylan will be hot on the heels. Matt Gerard and Aaron Goodrick. Hopefully we can see those guys get there to the end of the race on the lead lap and hopefully back up through the grid numbers a wee bit there.
Yeah, so a couple
Short
of guys.
countdown, short running.
Yeah, a couple of guys leaving after the incidents in the first race there, so down to a 13-car grid by the look of it now, and we are ready to roll off behind the pace truck. So Chris Zalewski taking that reverse grid pole. He is going to have control over the field as they come to the start. A couple of stragglers in behind off the dummy grid. They'll have to hustle to get onto the back of the grid.
Yeah, and Nico away. Early pole. He's got hopefully the 2 boys here don't get any penalty for being ahead of Dylan Radford there at the start. But Steve Darren around there. No, Louis Robertson. We can see what happened there. Here do we touch up? We've got Stephen McCartane and Blake Grenhall already up into 6th and 7th. And Blake doing a great job of holding off Stefan at the moment in the mid-pack. Nice clean. Chris Zalewski has lost it at some point.
Oh! And Steve Darren having a big lose under brakes into the corkscrew.
That was big. And whatever happened with Chris, he's actually jumped to the pits there as well. So something else to have a look back and unpack on that.
Couple of cars running wide at turn 10 there.
So Louis Robinson's one, he just lost it by himself with cold tyres trying to get underway.
Chris will have a quick look and see him
Running the Noco Porsche, and he'd gone through the pink dipper to the left coming up the hill, and just lost the rear and it piled straight across to the left-hand side of the track into the tyres, and it broke the front left upright on his suspension, collapsed that wheel, so he wasn't going anywhere. That's why he has towed to the pits.
So Yoko Winter he's busy out making hay while the sun shines, but Blake Greenhill and Stephen McCartan have certainly made a good start themselves, already up to P4 and P5 early on in this one.
And having a look at what happened with Steve Darren as we saw it under the live picture, but maybe just on the camera transition didn't quite pick up what happened, but just looked like Jaco Venter taking a steady approach into the corkscrew while tyres are still a bit cool, and Steve's pumping the brake pretty hard, locked the rears, and that's what's caused that spin. We can see just exiting the pit there, waiting for the group to actually go by. Chris Zwerski coming to join the pack there now. But what a cool close battle this is here at the moment between these three Porsches of Bart Slabert, Blake Greenhill and Stephen McCartan.
Yeah, it is a good tight battle.
Stefan filling up the mirrors there behind Blakey.
They got a little back pack in behind as well. Looked like there might be a bit of 3 wide there as Nico has jumped at the opportunity to sneak one down the inside on Stephen McCartan. That was great.
Nicely too. Stefan seeing it at the last moment, tried to cover, but Nico was well and truly committed to getting to that line. And I tell you what, that would be something quite neat if things settle down, to have a look back on from onboard or from the front of the car as he pulled that off, because that's no mean feat as you're coming up onto that crest, into sort of a blind braking zone for that turn into the corkscrew. That would have been a wild ride in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Goodrich just having a little spin off the final corner there, and every time I tried to click on his name to focus on him, it kept moving and I clicked on somebody else instead.
So I can see here from Aaron, he's come into the final corner behind Matt Priest. He's actually run up over the red sausaging curb on the inside of that corner. That's unsettled the car and bounced around the circle. Blake Greenhill attacking, but there just not being able to do quite enough. They go fishing around for some different views and angles.
Yeah, Nico a bit of a rear gunner for Bart at the moment. Both guys, I believe, members of Gamma Flare Racing.
Yep. You see Bart dropping a wheel there, and Blake now being able to run up alongside him, hot on the heels. So Nico has pulled into the draft, and he's sitting right behind Blake, so he'll be able to get one over his teammate here and get down the inside. Looks like he has, and Stefan's gone inside with him, but now on the outside run, probably have to lift and give that one back. Oh, Nico's gone off. Let's have a look and see if he lost that one by himself. That's a hard one to pick, Shane. He's both him and the other and Bart have gone and tipped into the corner at the same time. Maybe he didn't give him quite enough room. Maybe he turned in on. Oh, man, wild racing here tonight at Laguna Seca. These guys are putting more dust into the bowl than what there is at the local rodeo.
They sure are, and we can go back and unpack some of the data. You've had a look at it on your end, Doug, but we can see Lou Robinson here. Lap 1, as you say, just gassing it up a little bit too much on cold tyres and looking
Yep.
around there.
That was the first one.
And then we saw Chris Zaluski ultimately towing to the pits.
Yeah, this was unfortunate. So he's just run wide, clipped the rear, and then it just rips him into the wall. And tried to get underway with that left front as well, and truly disconnected from the car. Unfortunate for him. He was looking to be on for a good run through the feature race. Here's Steve with Yako coming in just nice and casually. Steve pumping the brakes at the last minute, thinking he's going to hit the rear end, and causing that lock up and spin to drop to the rear of the pack. Here's the one, Matt Gerard, coming in through the final corner. Gets up on the red sausage curving here, unsettles the car, rotates round.
Aaron Goodrick, not Matt Gerard.
Oh, sorry. Yep, Aaron Goodrick. Yep, I saw the other orange car as well.
They are very similar looking cars. It's very easy to confuse them.
Yeah, and here's Aaron Goodrick. Oh, I'm in Matt Gerard. Yeah, and this is back at live racing, I believe.
It is, and I'm just trying to track down the data on Nico and Bart. Would that have
Nico
been lap
Nico
5?
went off track, like lap 5.
Okay. And that will be this one.
Yeah, so don't quite get a good angle. I jumped to Chopper, but looks like just here, just turns in and catches the front corner of the car, but I don't know if he was if he closed in on him, or whether or not Bart didn't turn in early enough. But either way, racing incident, probably be the likely call on that one. It's be another angle from the replay, so it's a hard one. Probably a bit of a late move.
Yeah, looking at that, I do feel like maybe Nico would have already been committed to his line when Bart came alongside, but I think Bart was more focused on just trying to make sure he got into the apex ahead of the car that he was already fighting side by side there, so it's a tricky one. And we did have something else involving Aaron Goodrick as well that I don't think we quite caught. Oh, so he's just had a little bit of a wobble into the side of Louis Robinson there and sent him into the tyres. Looked like he was looking at redressing there, but I believe those guys hanging out in Discord together, and probably Louis making the call, don't worry about it, carry on.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate one. And now, just a reminder for the folks as well, because while we've got the heat racing thing happening, and you were privy with the setups of the races, what's the fuel load limit that these cars have got on board?
I can't recall the exact limit, but it is set up so they should need to make a pit stop.
Well, speaking of pit stops, I see Leith Swinney, lap 4, had gone and taken a stop, just 7.22 seconds, so certainly not enough to look at taking some tyres, but enough to get a splash of gas. He's sitting there at 9th at the moment, so keep an eye on things. Might see a few more boys come piling in shortly, 10 minutes into our 25-minute race.
Absolutely.
And hello, Scott Pickering.
You beat me to it, I was just about to say that. And Nico Cordier and Matthew Gerard have had a coming together into the final corner. I think Matthew just getting into the rear of Nico under brakes and waiting for Nico to rejoin there, accepting that he was in the wrong gear and didn't want to go on and take advantage of it.
Announced that one over the comp very quickly, said sorry, and like I said, asked race on. But yeah, unfortunate, because they were doing well, both those guys, probably moving up through the order there, and obviously Nico having that unfortunate incident just before. It's just a few extra seconds of loss that you don't be contending with this time in the race. But man of the match so far is currently sitting in spot number 2. making his way back up from 10th spot and now hot on the heels of Jaco Venter. They're of course talking about Stefan McCartain, and formidable drive, up 8 spots currently. Got car number 9 in front of him. Won't take too long before we see him do something magical.
Yes,
Make his way.
Stefan looking on the verge of going for a double win here as Jaco's just run a little bit wide there out of turn 3. And kicking up dust out of 4 as well. That's giving Stefan some momentum down into this section. Not able to do anything with it just yet though. Oh, that's a scary place to go side by side, and Stefan did back out of it in the end. Jaco having a wobble out of there though, and they're going to go side by side up and towards the corkscrew. And Stefan's going to have the inside line, but Jaco holds on the outside. That gives him the inside for the right-hander. Oh, Stefan just keeps it there though, and he gets the inside for the long left-hander and is able to clear him eventually and get to the front of this one. So if he can stay there, it's going to be a double win for Stefan, which is very impressive given the reverse top 10. But Blake Greenhill doing a great job as well, and if he can convert this, it's going to be a double podium for him, which is equally impressive. I'm guessing your lack of comment there, Doug, is not wanting to put a commentator's curse on it?
Yeah, move on.
Fair call.
Steve Darren coming down the pit lane. I wonder how long he will need to stop for. Sorry, blah 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 blah. Lee Swanee is 7.22, Nico Cordia 7.57, and Steve now underway 8.42 for him. So that's about on par. What we would see a little bit longer because he's gone a little bit longer out there on track, and he is going to be exiting pit lane just ahead of Nico Cordia and Aaron Goodrick. Nico having already done his stop just before, so his will be up to a nice bit of temp already, but it won't take Steve too long for those tyres to get back and warmed again. Obviously not swapping any out. They do cool off a little bit, but nothing substantial.
Yeah, driving down the pit lane, they lose a little bit. They lose a bit they lose more while you're sitting stationary in the pit box, but of course only sitting there for 8 seconds for Steve, so not a huge amount of temp loss through that, and probably enough residual heat in the brakes to keep that core temp up anyway, as Nico Cordia makes a nice late braking move into the corkscrew and picks Steve off and picks up P7.
Nice move.
And now Steve's got Aaron Goodrick in behind. Aaron looking to see if he can find a way around and move into 8th position now.
No, I was a wee bit silent there for a second there, Shano. I was just having a look back because I reckon move of the night so far was Nico's move on Stefan coming into the braking zone at the top of the corkscrew. And I've managed to find that under Nico on lap 3, about the 5-minute 14-second time marker. So you can have you can bring that one up. And I reckon seeing this one again, it's a good angle for it as well. So just behind him, Blake Greenhill, he was committed for the run, and that's a very impressive move. I'd love to see that from the onboard, from behind the helmet wings.
No, I've grabbed the wrong one there, apologies.
That's when he had the wee whoopsie.
Let's try this one, eh?
Here we go. So he was well and truly connected with the speed. He had a great run and
Whoa.
committed to that run. That is so deep in the brakes.
And I think Stefan had his mindset on trying a similar move on Blake, and then all of a sudden, as he went to commit, he just would have got that car left, cool, and thought,
Yes.
where am I going to go now?
Stefan had already initiated the jink to the left. And like you said very rightly, at that moment he would have had car left, and he would have went, no, car on the right. Oh, hang on, what's happening here?
And Stefan and Blake are in the pits now. Stefan emerging, holds on to the lead. Dylan Radford taking P2, has not pitted yet. And Blake Greenhill is going to come out third.
Yeah, nice and clear of Leafs winning there. About 6 second gap back from him to Lee.
So
it's good to see Blakey out there feeling comfortable with his car.
yeah,
Got the new wheel from Sim Blacks up and running, and obviously doing well for him.
so I was just observing that Blake Greenhill is now in a corrected second overall with Dylan Radford yet to pit. And I was wondering what happened to this guy, Jaco Venter. He actually had a 48.83 second stop in the box, which would suggest to me that he's been picked up speeding on the way into pit lane and had to serve a 40-second penalty there, unfortunately.
That would be an interesting one to have a look back at if you could look him up, because it's almost a pit lane you can't speed into. So unless he slowed down and then didn't engage the his pit limiter, because you've got such a tight left-hander going into the pits.
That is a fair point, isn't it? And we've got Dylan.
Catch him on the.
Yeah, we've got Dylan just serving his pit stop, and that should cleanse the field. I believe everybody has taken a stop now.
Yeah, I wonder if you've got a replay there, Jaco entering pit lane. Slowed down, and he's got round the corner.
Oh yeah, I think he's got the double press on the button, because it sounded like the limiter was on as he came around the corner, and then it sounds like it's clicked off.
Oh, you reckon maybe he's bumped it or something as he's had the hands locked over top of each other?
Yeah, could be. But yeah, certainly looked like it was able to accelerate well over the limit there, so that would be why he's picked up that penalty, unfortunately.
That is a shame indeed.
So things pretty spread out on track at the moment. Not a lot of close gaps. No yellow or red or orange on the intervals on my timing screen at the moment.
No. And yeah, can confirm, just had a look back on that one on Jaco's there. He's come around the corner, looks like it has slipped off, and he managed to creep it up a total of an extra 30 kilometres over the lane speed limit there, so certainly got pinged for that one and held there for the appropriate time.
Yeah, that's frustrating. It's very easily done. I know I've had a few times where I've put the limiter on and it's come on, and then accidentally bumped the button again without realising, and it turns off.
I'm gonna very quickly bring Blakey into the lounge here, mate. He's got a nice 8 and 9 second gap around him.
If he crashes now, it's your fault.
Yep.
Blake, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
Good evening, gentlemen.
How are we, mate?
Oh, trucking along not too badly at the moment, actually.
Well, that's what we were talking about before. Now, see, Shane was saying before you got yourself back into third spot, obviously, that we finished the first race, and I was too timid to say anything because I didn't want to jinx you and have the old commentator's curse. But I'm not privy to leaving people not being dragged unceremoniously into the broadcasting lounge. So once again, I've tagged you, and you're here. You're here with us.
Oh, I'm honoured, mate. Absolutely honoured.
I was just admiring the fact that you are out there in a port, and you seem to be in good control of it. And it must all really be coming down to that amazing new wheel setup that you got from our friends over at Simplex.
Yes, that's been a big part of it. I think it was an interesting choice to move to the Porsche. Obviously, it's rear-mounted rear-wheel drive as opposed to front-mounted rear wheels, so different driving dynamic. But yeah, it's been good so far. I think it actually suits this track too, with the weight in the rear for some of those tighter corners. Sort of helps to get a bit of turn in.
Yep. Well, you've certainly been going well, and Leith Sweeney, obviously a man who you contend for position a lot with and have over the years.
Yep.
You're 8 seconds clear of him, and quite a respectable, only 12 seconds shy from our fastest man out there at the minute, Stephen McCartane. So big pat on the back for you, mate. Once you come in through pit lane, looks like you've got just one more lap to do before you see the awesome white and black checkers.
Fantastic.
So we'll let you keep your concentration face on there, mate, and thank you again for when we drag you in here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Eve racing.
Yeah, thank you, boys. Thank you for having us and putting on such a great lead.
Cheers,
Listen,
mate.
mate, we do it just for you, no one else.
I appreciate that, mate.
Good, mate. I'll see you later.
Cheers, boys.
So it is Stephen McCartan in control at the moment. 13 seconds clear of Black Greenhill in the lead on the final lap. Getting down into the spectacular sunset shots that I teased earlier in the night.
Yep, you did. You called it. I can see the beautiful orange haze there across the background of the image, and looking at what iRacing has scheduled for us coming up with the Season 2 release, we're going to be getting an updated to the old lighting there, and shadows and bits and pieces, and making it all a bit more cinematic. So roll on Laguna Seca sunset setups again soon, but at the moment we'll be bedazzled by the flashing lights of Stephen McCartane coming across back to back. Did it on the pole from quali, and he's done race 1 and race 2 again here tonight. Round 9 Laguna Seca. Blake Greenhall, well done to him. He's come there from
Spot to get back to second. It's a great run for him. Leith 20 there in third.
and Matt Priest just in behind him, not too far off Leith. Great run, finishing 4th. Nico Cordia, great recovery drive by him to finish in 5th. And
We've got Steve Darren there.
in 6th, and Dylan Bradford finishing 7th. Hear a couple of guys chatting away in the background saying that the sun was actually a bit of a hard contender on those last few laps, getting a bit blinding on some of those corners.
You're welcome, everyone.
Jaco Venter finishing there. P9, Aaron Goodrick had finished in spot number 10. Chris Zalewski believe has come across the line as well. He finished in spot number 11. But Larbert finishing the race. No, he didn't quite finish the race. So that was it. Just 11 cars finishing there for tonight. And a few others just out of touch with that one. But too much sand from the sand trap being dragged onto the track. Bit too hot under the collar to make it work for them. The boys that needed to do it have done it. And I can't believe, Shane, that we are officially now over 3/4 of the way through this this race season.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it? Round 9 done and dusted. Only 3 rounds to go.
As indeed, it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, thank you very much to our race week sponsor, Tim Valk from Valk Auto Electical. Seriously, go and check out his page on Facebook and on Google. He's been doing it since 2021, where he set up the business. He's very fascinated with people's project cars and stuff going on out there. You can do all the little bits and pieces, from checking over your car and rewiring stuff, getting your daily driver diagnosed if it comes up with any issues. You find him in Helensville, West Auckland, but he is able to go mobile as well. So check him out and give him your like and appreciation, boys, from the league. We wouldn't be able to do it without our awesome race week sponsors. Big thank you to Manon Racing Products for looking after our GTE series. Certainly love Barry and the team for coming on board and helping us out. Barry, I believe, has got a few boys doing their thing over the weekend for the Bathurst 12 hour as well. So I certainly implore you to have a look around on our page and some other similar pages as well, to keep an eye out for some of those streams as they go live over the weekend. Be good to touch base and see how everyone gets on next week. We'll be able to hear all the glory stories and the gory stories. But thanks for having me there, Shane. It's been a pleasure coming back into the lounge and working in alongside you. And nice to not be having to dance around the cameras for a night, although I couldn't help myself having to go back and look at a few replays.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, Doug. Thanks for stepping in with Corey unable to make it. And of course, big thanks to Napa Auto Parts, sponsoring the Broadcasting Lounge, as they have done for probably about the last year or so now. So thank you very much.
In a wee while.
Yeah, thank you very much to Napa for their ongoing support, and Leon for setting that up as well.
100%.
Next week, action Tuesday night, V8s go endurance racing as they head to the Red Bull Ring.
Whoop, whoop.
That's going to be round 1 of the new look MRX Enduro Cup for 2025, and it is a full year championship. 4 rounds, one from each of the iRacing seasons, and that will make up or decide the winner at the end of the year for the MRX Endurance Championship.
It's very cool. I do like that change from moving away from having a couple in each season to making it a one race per season, and certainly implores our drivers to stick around and to make the most of it, because anything could happen.
Absolutely, and of course that event being run over 2 nights, so yourself, myself, and Corey probably need to get together over this weekend to work out who's going to be able to be around on Monday to broadcast the top 10 shootout.
Yep.
And then we go racing on Tuesday night as usual for the big Enduro, and that will be very exciting. And then Thursday we've got GTEs back, and they head to Italy, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, otherwise known as Imola. That will be a great track to send these GTE cars around, and I'm very much looking forward to that as well. Thanks everybody at home. Sorry.
I was just about to say, if anyone ever wondered how Shano does such a great job in pronouncing all of those all these infamous racetracks by the correct name. It's because he secretly sneaks off to the microwave, hits 30 seconds on high on an Alfredo Petticini pasta dish, and goes and slurps that down before he goes and rattles those off. So there's his wee secret into how he does so well to say all those.
Well, they say a magician's never supposed to reveal his tricks, but you've just revealed all mine, Doug. Thanks very much for that.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Round us up. Let's get out of here.
Thanks everybody at home for joining us tonight. We will see you all next week. Have a good one.